Hey everyone, this is Mohit and this is part 2 of understanding Euler's identity. Last time we had a discussion that Euler's identity is one of the most beautiful equation of mathematics and why is it so. Now we'll discuss why it actually works. So to understand that, you need to understand two concepts. The first one is actually about exponents. Normally, whenever we talk about exponents, we say that b to the power c, that means b is multiplied c times. 5 to the power 3, that means 5 is multiplied 3 times, 5 into 5 into 5, right? Similarly, we think that e to the power x means e is multiplied x times. There's no problem with that. However, we cannot stretch this boundary when we go to imaginary numbers. Right now we are having e to the power iota, but I don't know what iota is. If I don't know what iota is, how can I multiply e iota times? Getting it? So now, since in my exponents I'm having imaginary numbers, so thinking of the exponent as simply as we used to won't work, right? So instead of that, what we'll do is we'll actually introduce something new that's also called as Taylor series, of course given by Taylor Swift. Yep. So what is Taylor series? Taylor series simply states that any of my function can be written in summation of many polynomial functions, right? So e to the power x can be written as 1 plus x square over 2 plus x cube over 3 factorial and so on, right? I guess you know it a bit, but as I can do this, instead of x I can put iota also, and if I put iota, I'll get e to the power iota as 1 plus iota squared over 2 factorial plus iota cube over 3 factorial and so on. And when I draw it on an Argand plane, remember in an Argand plane, real axis is x-axis and imaginary axis is y-axis. So everything which is real will be drawn in x, everything which is imaginary will be drawn in y. So 1 plus I plus iota square is actually negative 1. So 1 plus I plus iota squared over 2 factorial plus iota cube over 3 factorial and so on. I'll draw all of them and this thing will actually converge onto one point which will be in complex plane, that will be 0.54 plus 0.84 iota. Now here it makes sense that when I took e to the power iota, it came out to be some imaginary number. It was spiraling around and finally came out to be some imaginary number. Similarly, if I go and test it out for e to the power iota pi, instead of iota, I'll just put iota pi in every equation, and that will finally spiral around and come to -1. Cool? See you.